organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, find out what the UI is doing to combat sexual abuse against minors.
Plus, why Iowa City will be stepping up parking enforcement in the coming months.
And in sports, the Hawkeye football team has a new defensive coordinator. Find out who next.
That's all coming your way next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
From Studio 151, your television news, sports, and weather source for the Daily Iowan, this is Daily Iowan TV.
Thanks for tuning in to your Tuesday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Josh Bolander.
And I'm Tasha Woods. Today, the presidents of Iowa's 3 Regents universities discussed the measures they're taking to prevent sexual abuse against minors. Following a sexual assault scandal at Penn State University, the Board of Regents asked the schools to review their policies with regards to employees working with children. President Sally Mason said the UI is reviewing its policies for sports camps and other programs that changes in those policies were being made. Mason also talked about getting more information out to mandatory reporters, which include people in the healthcare field, public safety officials, and social workers.
On Tuesday, the Iowa Senate voted to increase education funding in the state by $122 million for the 2013-2014 school year. The bill would bring total public education funding up to $2.8 billion, but the bill will not likely make it through the Iowa House, where Republicans have the majority. They say they've already approved a budget for the next year and will deal with the 2013 school year in the next legislative session.
A major new gun rights law could be picking up steam in the state legislature. A constitutional amendment that would limit restrictions on firearms could come up in a House committee as early as this week. The amendment would also prohibit fees on guns, and some House leaders say they expect the bill will get enough support to make it to the House floor. Those who oppose the amendment warn that it could create major problems in urban areas and effectively return the state to the days of the Wild West.
And with the cold temperatures returning these past few days, let's go to Christina Targos, who joins us for your first look at weather.
That's right, Josh. The cold temperatures of winter are slowly creeping back. Wednesday morning will be cloudy with 22-degree temperatures. The high will only be 31 degrees, but with some sunny skies. The evening will drop down to 22 degrees with clear skies, and I'll be back in a bit with your 6-day forecast.
And if you're a moped owner in Iowa City, the Transportation Services Department is now charging you $45 a year to use city-designated parking spots. But Jessica Wink tells you why you may not need to rush to purchase that permit.
Only 36 permits have been issued through the City Transportation Services since the moped parking law was issued last month.
Being a warmer winter, we've sold more than I guess I would expect. I didn't think we would see too many people driving mopeds in February.
For the city, one of the biggest issues with the mopeds was when students were parking at the bike racks on the sidewalks. With the permit, moped owners have access to 140 parking areas. Most students, like Alyssa Kosnick, still aren't parking downtown.
Not since the January law. I used to.
For fear of getting fined, most students have their permits at the university, but what they don't know is the city is only issuing warnings right now.
I don't know if I'll get to take the chance because I feel like with my luck, they'll end warnings the day I decide to park downtown.
The signs say permit only, but yeah, I think it'll be an education process when it warms up.
Jessica Wink, Daily Iowan TV.
Later this spring, the city will set an official date for when they will start fining those without permits.
California may soon join Iowa as one of only a handful of states to allow gay marriage. On Tuesday, a federal appeals court ruled California's ban on same-sex marriage is unconstitutional. The court ruled against California's Proposition 8, a ban enacted by state voters in 2008 that overturned the state Supreme Court's legislation of gay marriage earlier that year. Supporters of the proposition do have time to repeal the court's decision. During that time, gay couples will not be granted marriage licenses.
Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, hear from an AIDS survivor who's spreading his story in the hope of helping others.
Plus, the Big Ten Conference changes its mind about a football playoff, meaning big changes could be on the way. All that coming up in just a few minutes.
But now let's check in with Christina Targos for your 6-day forecast. Christina?
Thanks, Tasha. Wednesday will have a high of 31 degrees. Thursday will be the highest temperature we see this week with a high of 36 and mostly sunny. Friday and Saturday bring the coldest temperatures with highs of 25 and 22. Sunday starts looking better with a high of 30 degrees, and Monday's high is back up with 34 degrees. That's your 6-day forecast. Back to you at the desk.
HIV and AIDS affect people of all races and all parts of the world. However, many people don't realize the unique challenges facing minorities affected by the disease. This stark reality brought a special visitor to the UI on Monday, and Daily Iowan TV's Muriel Kone tells us what he's doing to help others.
On the day that I learned that I had AIDS, a doctor came in my room and told me to turn the television off. He told me, "We have the results of your test. I'm afraid it's positive. You have HIV and we've already begun treating you for pneumonia."
And having HIV was something that Dr. Jolivet never imagined when he was diagnosed over 9 years ago. And with an increasing rise of HIV cases in minority communities, the knowledge of the disease still remained low today, and it motivated him to educate others.
I first decided to share because I realized there's a lot of people like me that, aren't working at a university. There's people who don't have health insurance, who don't have the privilege that I think I actually do have to a large extent to live this healthy life, because we can say HIV is treatable now because there's medication or it's chronic. And for many people, they don't even know that.
Dr. Jolivet also talked about the importance of being available to patients as a health professional and made suggestions of how the university can raise more HIV/AIDS awareness on campus.
Having more classes actually expands people's perspective. It makes them better able to understand and communicate. I guess the best way I could describe it in 2 words is critical literacy.
He hopes that critically changing the minds of people from the usual stigmatism often associated with HIV/AIDS will start to open more doors for discourse in the future. This is Muriel Kone, Daily Iowan TV.
Dr. Jolivet says he plans to continue speaking to groups and working to educate people about HIV and AIDS.
And now let's take a look beyond Iowa. As pressure increases for Greece officials to reach a new bailout plan, union members flooded the streets of Athens Tuesday, protesting new spending cuts and tax increases proposed by foreign lenders. But Greece needs the money to avoid defaulting in March, which could force Greece out of the Euro monetary union and shock the global financial system.
Floodwaters stormed through the streets of Bulgaria after heavy rain and melting snow caused one local dam to burst. Just take a look at this video. You can see just how bad the damage really is. Some homes are almost completely submerged in water. People are being forced to evacuate.
Mexico's conservative ruling party selected its first ever female candidate to run for president. The National Action Party of Mexico selected Josefina Vázquez Mota, making her the first female to be backed by any of Mexico's major political parties.
And now Daily Iowan TV's Ian Martin is here for your look at Hawkeye sports.
Iowa football announced today that Phil Parker will be the Hawkeyes' new defensive coordinator. Parker has been the defensive backfield coach at Iowa for 13 seasons and will succeed Norm Parker, no relation, who retired after as many seasons. Parker has been on staff since Kirk Ferentz was hired at Iowa also 13 years ago. The Associated Press today is reporting that the Big Ten Conference will now support a playoff in college football. The conference's Commissioner Jim Delaney has been vocal in his support of the current BCS system, and the Big Ten as a whole has been against a playoff in the past. But on Tuesday, Michigan State Athletic Director Mark Hollis said, quote, "All of the Big Ten athletic directors are comfortable exploring the possibility of a 4-team playoff. 4 is better than 2. Ohio State Athletic Director Gene Smith also came out in support of the change today, saying, quote, "Fans have been loud and clear," end quote, in wanting a playoff. And while nothing is official, the most likely option right now is a 4-team playoff beginning in 2014. That is the year that all 11 Football Bowl Series conferences have set as a goal for postseason reform. Now to winter sports. They are almost over, and thus begins the time to give one last thanks to the seniors of the season. Wrestling is no exception, but the feelings are a bit different because there are so many unknowns about this postseason. With the Big Ten and national title tournament looming, Daily Iowan TV's Nick Robertson looks at the wrestling seniors in their final few matches.
Carver-Hawkeye Arena gave its thanks to a total of 8 seniors on Sunday after Iowa's drubbing of Big Ten rival Wisconsin. Of those 8, 3 of them are likely to compete in the Big Ten and national tournament in March. Vinnie Wagner, Montel Marion, and heavyweight Blake Razing. Marion, a 2-time All-American, will get his last chance to win the 2 titles that have eluded him all his career: the 141 Big Ten Championship and the 141 National Championship. Twice he has tried and fallen short. Heavyweight Blake Razing should also get a chance to defend his Big Ten title he won last season. As of now, it is unclear if 184-pounder Vinnie Wagner will get his first and only shot at the coveted titles. With Iowa still being a young and talented team, the loss of this senior class will not be felt as bad, but this class has also been a part of 2 national titles. With the seniors' final dual meet here in Carver-Hawkeye Arena, finishing with a final score of 39-3 and the team only allowing 3 takedowns, it's easy to say that it wasn't very competitive, but it's hard to imagine that these seniors would want it any other way. I'm Nick Robertson at Carver-Hawkeye Arena, Daily Iowa TV, Sports.
Final look at that 3 senior class for wrestling. Montel Marion especially will finish with at least 80 wins in his career. He's going to be one of 3 141-pounders graduating in 2012. The wrestling team will compete in the National Dual Regionals in Ames this weekend. Now, a matchup between co-Big Ten Freshman of the Week in basketball is set for Thursday after Iowa's Aaron White shared the honor this week with Northwestern's Dave Soboleski. Ahead of the Hawkeyes and Wildcats showdown on Thursday, White earned the honor for the 3rd time this season after averaging 13 points and 8 rebounds in 2 games last week, both of which Iowa won. Against Penn State, White had 17 points, including 2 3-pointers from the 6'8 forward. White and his squad will tip off against Northwestern at 8 Central on ESPNU on Thursday. And one final note, for more coverage of the Phil Parker hiring, check out Daily Iowan TV tomorrow after Kirk Ferentz will formally introduce him. That's all. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Ian. It may be getting colder here, but still no snow for now. That's not the case in Sapporo, Japan, where a talented group of artists created these fantastic sculptures out of snow and ice. The sculptures are part of the 63rd annual Sapporo Snow Festival, which attracts about 2 million visitors a year. There are roughly 100 different pieces of snow art, which, weather providing, will stay up until the end of the festival on Sunday.
And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into Wednesday's pages of the Daily Iowan. Find out why some lobbyists say a proposed state employment law could lead to racial profiling.
Plus, learn how FEMA money is affecting the latest designs for the UI's flood recovery projects.
That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out at the same time tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.